Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Wealthy Wednesdays. You know, part of building wealth, of course, is your investments and how they perform. And you can pick some killer investments and they can perform 8, 10, 12%. And you might think that's great. But what really matters at the end of the day is how much the fees that you're paying to the fund manager is costing you. And a lot of times they sell you on this 1% thing. It's only 1%. Let me tell you something. 1% is not 1%. In your logical brain, you're thinking 1% is $1,000 for every 100,000. I'll pay that to have some professionally managed funds and gain 8, 10, 12% a year. But 1% is not just 1%. Why? Because that fee compounds over time. And today I'm going to give you an example of that. We're going to head over to NerdWallet and we're going to go into their mutual fund calculator. And this one is going to actually show you what the cost of your fees is. So let's just say you start with an initial investment amount of $1,000. Your time horizon is, we're going to say 30 years because you're smart and you started early on this. The fund expense ratio is that little magic 1% that they sell you on, right? So we're going to put in 1%. And then we're going to go into how much you're going to contribute a year. Let's just say the average salary in America is about $50,000. So let's just say we're doing 10% into our investments like a good investor. And we're going to do $5,000. And let's just say your rate of return is about 8%, which is reasonable to expect in today's investment environment. So you put those numbers in and then you hit calculate and you find out at the end the value of your investments will be $621,792 gross. However, that's gross. Net of investment fees, it's only $512,977.46. And you think, okay, well, that's well over $500,000. What you're not thinking of, boys and girls, is how much you lost in investment fees. And those investment fees come to $108,814.54. And if you haven't done the math on this, I will do the math for you. That $108,814 actually represents about 18% of your gross investment. So you tell me, is it worth paying 18% to somebody to lose 6 figures worth of your investments? You could easily get the same type of performance going to a low load or no load self-directed investment fund like I use, right? So you can do an S&P index fund, get the same performance and only pay 0.3 or 0.2% instead of 1%. And that looks a lot better to you and it looks a darn lot better to me, I'm sure. And it'll make a huge difference when it comes time to cash out for retirement. So that is your investment fee primer on today's episode of Wealthy Wednesdays. Take it to heart, do your research, know what it's really costing you over the long term, and make a wise decision on where and with whom you choose to put your investments. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you again on Friday. Have a great day. Bye.